Hello, it's Classy here back with another Tribes video, and as you can see by my home screen, today I'm going to be showcasing the kid Sasuke from the previous banner. And the reason why I'm really showing off Sasuke Pride right now is because he is my main carry nowadays. As you might remember from way before Power Creep, I had Pain as my carry at one point. Then right during Power Creep I had Datara as my carry, but nowadays older units have a tendency to fall off, although there are exceptions, but these two have definitely fallen off in some areas of the game. Sasuke, however, I believe he's currently really great at basically all the modes, and I'm going to be demonstrating why. But you might notice he is the first 6-star UR that I have on this account. This is my main account, so total power was like 560k, and yeah. If you take a look at the artwork, looks really cool, has a lot of cool effects for the wind and this blue particle effects in the background. And you can even see the lighting off of like his clothing and the metal from his kunai and headband, which looks nice. The color scheme looks great. There's the blue to match his signature clothing, obviously, and then there's the red highlights to match his Sharingan. So really good job by the artist. I really like this artwork. That is one of the reasons why I do want, well, I already did, but I wanted to build up this unit. And total power, we have 67.5k, which is pretty nice. And he's a URA unit. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at his stats. So usually for A units, they tend to have more offense related stats, and they might have a weakness with their defense. And we can see that Sasuke's critical suppression rate and guard suppression rate are not very good. His guard damage reduction rate as well. They're not bad by any means, but they're definitely lower than average. And that means that he will need some protection from some other units on our team. But not to worry, there's a lot of D units in the game that are meta, that are used everywhere, so should be pretty easy to protect him. Okay, now for the offensive stats, he actually excels what I've been seeing recently for averages. So he has over 40% critical rate, basically 40% damage increase rate. And yeah, critical damage increase rate 30%, pretty good. He has some solid defensive stats with the guard rate and damage reduction rate as well. So not bad at all, pretty good. And his offense really excels too. Now for the link bonuses, Orochimaru and Kabuto, this makes sense because, you know, he wanted to gain more power from the curse mark, so he went to go meet up with these guys. Then Rock Lee and Mike Guy, because he was fighting Lee before the Chunin exams started, basically, when he first met him. And then Mike Guy had to break up the fight, and then Naruto and Kakashi are his teammate and his teacher, respectively. So basically, the links are really easy to get for this character, which is great. So all of these SRs are basically free. You should have grabbed Naruto from the shop for free. I can probably 5 or 6-star him, probably 6-star by the end of this event. Then you could also get Kakashi from the shop if you really need, but most people have Kakashi anyways because he's pretty insane. And he is also an OG unit, so here we go. We're going on to the skills first. And basically we have Fire Style Dragon Fire Jutsu, and I'll show you guys what it looks like in game. But some people were asking why this is a stun, but you'll see based off of the animation. And he does single target damage to one enemy, which is great. 50% chance to burn them and deal 13,000 damage. And they take this at the start of each turn for 4 turns. He has a 35% chance to stun them as well, which is really amazing. We do like stunners in every single mode. For PvP, messing up rotations means your units will attack more often. And then for PvE, not really messing up rotations, but stun locking certain threats will help your team win the PvE battle, whatever it is. Now he also increases his own chakra by 3,300, which is basically refilling his empty bar by a third after he's done jutsuing, which is great. Then he also boosts all allies attack by 16%, which is all 9 allies on your team, and that's really good as well. So from jutsu alone, already looking really solid. Skill 2, he does regular damage for skill 2s, and then he boosts attack by 9%. Basically only once because this lasts for the rest of the battle, but for him and all allies in the same 3-man cell. So it's not necessarily the best skill 2, but it's not bad at all. Skill 2 is not always that important. There are certain units in the game that you want to use skill 2s for PvE, but for PvP, if you're building your team right, you probably aren't going to use skill 2s at all just because of chakra generation and such. And we'll talk about that later too. So he has more attack. So this guy is just going to nuke super hard with all these attack boosts. Then we have natural born talent. So he'll boost all active allies damage increase rate by 18% if he's active at the start of the turn, and all active allies chakra by 1450 if he's active at the start of the turn. So great, another chakra generator. This one is a little bit more consistent than Kisame because Kisame triggers every time an enemy dies. He gives like 1200 to everybody on the team. I guess that's debatable which one's better, but Sasuke only gives 1500 basically to his 3-man cell. So make sure to position him accordingly. He also does buffs, so keep that in mind when you're building teams, and I'll showcase that later. And boosting his active allies damage increase rate by 18% is also great. Keep in mind that this is the same cell. So you want to be building a cell around him. And if you do that correctly, you're gonna stomp because there's just so much damage buffs going on, and there's chakra, which will never go wrong. It will help everybody jutsu instead of regular attacks. So that results in more damage output. So this is a very offense-oriented character, and you want to balance out your team with some defense as well. You can't just have like all offense, basically. For PvE, we can talk about that later, but for PvE, we can make an exception for what I just said. And yeah, we have some gear with some awakening and such, and vitality. He has chakra plus 1000 at the start of each turn after the second turn. So, you know, this isn't the best vitality. If he had insta vitality, that'd be even better. But this is not a bad vitality because it might take a while to wind up, but in the meantime, you have other chakra generators like Sai helping you out, and he also generates chakra himself for himself. And yeah, that's pretty good. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this character. And we'll take a look at how good he is and some teams. So just keep in mind everything you've seen here. And actually, I missed something. We're going to go into Limit Break as well. Yeah, I'll be getting these eventually. But basically, increases own chakra and boosts attack at the start of any turn after an ally has been defeated. So this is very similar to some of the other Sasuke's, like you are heavy, kind of like a revenge unit kit, which is great. Who doesn't like more chakra generation? And this will be more self-beneficial, but he also already has all the other skills that benefit his allies as well. So it just stacks more chakra for him, so he can never have to regular attack, and then he'll also do more damage over time as allies are defeated. So pretty good limit break as well. Now let's take a look at teams. So we have this team 2 right now, which is what I'm currently running for Arena. And there's not really too much to say here. The reason why I put him first is because of all the buffs he's giving with his jutsu. And I already have another stunner here, which doesn't buff, so there really is no point of putting him last. My other cells have already been locked down. We already know why Spirit and Energy is so good, right? Because we have Energy with a ton of stuns and stats effects to protect Sai, along with tankiness. As I said, we want some tanks to balance out some of the squishier units. And then for Spirit, we obviously have the AoE combo going on with Santa 100% confused, Sasori for debuffs, Then we have Kieran for more debuffs and AoE stun. Kakashi, probably going to replace him eventually, but for now he actually boosts 6 units on the team at the start of the battle, which is pretty cool. And he has some other skills and kit that interact well in PvP because they can adapt to what the enemy is running. And I've already made like a bunch of videos on him before too, so that's cool. Kakashi, you'll never go wrong. You have that insta jutsu, so you can insta pick off a unit. He has stun as well, so that's cool. So Sasuke's stun is kind of not as important here. He's mainly going to nuke, but in the event that all 3 of these guys are hitting a very tanky unit, then his stun can come into play. Now, this is a special project, but I'm going to be showcasing the KCM Naruto eventually as well, pretty soon. Not necessarily mine, because I'm building him slowly, but very soon, so look out for that. But this spirit cell right here is a cell that I kind of came up with along with the team building school. We're doing a lot of cool theory crafting and stuff, but this seems like a really cool cell that I wanted to try out eventually. But we're keeping the energy. We have Sasuke still boosting the AoE unit and Sasori, and he has a better chance to stun and burn as well. We have 2 insta-jutsus here, so Naruto immediately buffs Kakashi for probably a one-shot on turn 1, or whatever turn they rotate in. And then Kid Naruto obviously can't go with Kid Sasuke because they would have a tribe. So putting him with these 2 means that he has these extra defense benefits to the people in his cell. So that's just extra defense layered to 2 of our most important nukers. And I've already showcased Kid Naruto as well, but that's just a sneak peek of what's to come for Arena for me. And let's take a look. So we've got a lot of Arena replays. I haven't necessarily watched them all, but let's see. Let's take a look at this one. I wanna pick Arena clips that are much closer because it tends to showcase the units better. But oh shoot, this is pretty loud. But you just saw the chakra move up for these guys. So yep, Sasuke does not have turn 1 jutsu, obviously. Kakashi does though, so he's probably gonna one-shot Sai. But Sasuke's attack animation looks pretty cool. You know, he is still a kid, so he can use the fact that he's smaller to his advantage, like by going in the air and trying to hit you, like he did to Kakashi during the belt exams. Yeah, I think yeah, that was pretty cool during the belt exams. And Sasuke doesn't really benefit the cells that are outside unless he's jutsuing, so it's cool. We got a quick stun already on Sai, so that's a huge advantage. That's why the insta-jutsu combo with KCM and Kakashi is probably going to be nuts, because once people start using KCM, you want to one-shot him and Sai as soon as possible. So here we go. Just get these attacks out of the way. And I'm going to slow it down so we can see what happens when Sasuke rotates in, which should be damage increase rate, I believe, and chakra generation. Right? So, yep, natural born talent, chakra, damage increase rate. The critical rate is from something else. So now he's going to jutsu as well, so we can take a look at the animation. And this is what I was talking about, right? People are like, why does he stun? Well, first of all, that's really cool. Sharingan stuff. You can see these like string things where he kind of like traps you, so that's the stun. And then he shoots fire along the strings, so you get burned. Chakra up, attack up. Honestly, Kid Kakashi also has really cool animations. Okay, but yeah, that's cool. So putting him first gives attack up for both of these guys. And that actually might be the last time we see Sasuke. I think he's coming back in for this battle. Pretty cool stuff. Not really going to show skill 2 because that's hard to show nowadays. I don't use this skill 2 for PvE also. Speaking of which, I can go to Abyss real quick as well. After this is done. So, yep. More force skill stuff. You guys saw like the chakra and the damage increase rate. But yeah, the chakra kind of not usable right now because we already have full bars. So sometimes that can be kind of a waste, but you know, side does not always survive that long. Nice, he used it on Itachi. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, look at the damage too. I forgot to mention that. I don't remember how much damage he did earlier, but you can rewind the video if you want to see that. He usually does really good damage. Cool. Yeah, I don't think we necessarily need to watch more, but pretty good stuff. We can go to Abyss 2. Can't really build an Abyss team anymore because I just played Abyss today. I got to 36. Hopefully we can get to 38. Although my account kinda is weak, but yeah, as you can see, these are who I used today for B30. 34. I messed up because my original fodder team, I forgot to reload the page when they died too fast. So I have 2 fodder teams. But basically, using the pain, or actually, I just built the team. Never mind. Basically, I used one team during B32 yesterday, which was insane. And that's mainly due to Sasuke carrying me. But I'll show you guys what the team is first. So we had Sasuke, Sai, Sublime. Here we had Mama, Seimu Jiraiya, and SR Heavy, I believe. Yeah. This is pretty much the team. I don't think Mama going first really has any benefits either, so we could do that as well, I guess. But that's basically the team. You send in your fodder team first. They build up their chakra. You use this tribe. You remove all their chakra, or most of their chakra, so they can't jutsu you. Then you give chakra to your allies. We already have 2 chakra generators here. So Sublime, the idea here is we want Sublime to keep AoE nuking them. He's kind of like our cannon, and we're protecting the cannon and reloading it. The force cell is basically sustain, which means surviving as long as possible. We have 2 healers with extra healing from force. 2 AoE stuns, single target stuns, status effect up for these force guys. And yeah, I mean, I wish I recorded my B32 run because it was really good. Basically, Six Tails used the tribe because they built up the tribe gauge. Obviously, when you send in your far team, he one-shot the energy cell, which is perfect, which is what you want, right? Because this is a six-man strategy. So we had the force cell staying together and the spirit cell staying together, which is the ideal situation for Abyss. And basically, what happened next was we didn't lose any units except for 2, like near the end, which is just really good. Like we had so much sustain. I think we lost Sai at one point because he is the squishier one. And I think we lost Mama as well, but we lost our squishier units. Sasuke hit so many stuns, it was pretty insane. Then we had Burn from Seimu Jiraiya and Sasuke, which kind of just chipped down the tank's HP. Sublime was repeatedly jutsuing just because of all this chakra we're giving him, and we also give buffs, right? So I don't think Sasuke attacked with a regular attack or skill 2 once. He just jutsued every single time he rotated in. And keep in mind that this is 2 rotations instead of 3, so that's just pretty insane. He's just getting so much work done for me in PvE right now. And yeah, he's doing well. Sublime actually just wiped 3 people at once nearing the end just because he just keeps getting those buffs from his dead allies. So yeah, pretty cool Abyss stuff going on. Used the same strategy today. It was also effective. I just had to use the cleanup team afterwards to finish it off. Doing the same thing tomorrow. Not much else to say. Hope you guys learned something, and about Sasuke, of course, and also about team building. And yeah, this is definitely a really great unit. Should be the tier below SS. I think SS is reserved for Sai, Kakashi, and KCM now. Makes sense, right? Like, if you have those guys, you're putting them on your teams, basically. And yeah, he should be S. Still a really good place to put him. I don't regret spending some extra UR frags. But yeah, I was also doing FG as well, so always make sure to grind out your PvE events. They just give you so many frags that you can use. So yep, pretty happy I got KCM as well. Hopefully I can keep this luck up because I'm anticipating some cool units coming soon as well. And I'll keep you guys updated, so keep a lookout for more content. Thanks for watching.